At the checkout line of Belridge Supermarket, two teenage girls stood impatiently. Ashley and Brooke, both dressed in expensive clothes, rolled their eyes as the cashier slowly scanned their items. The cashier's name was Emily. To Ashley and Brooke, she was a nobody. Ashley leaned in close to Brooke and muttered, "Think she even knows how to spell Gucci?" Brooke giggled. "She probably thinks it's a pasta." Emily said nothing. She bagged their items, announced the total, and waited patiently. Ashley swiped her card dramatically. "Keep the change," she scoffed, tossing a few coins into the tip jar with exaggerated flair. They walked off cackling, already editing the video on Brooke's phone. They had a TikTok series. Cashier Watch, Glam versus Grime. Emily had become a favorite target. Clips of her face, her shoes, her slow, quiet movements, all turned into mocking videos. Emily never responded. She didn't even look at them. What they didn't know was that Emily had her reasons. She had taken the job only recently, and only part-time. Her real world was very different. But she didn't share it. Not with her co-workers, not with customers, not with anyone. Back at school, Ashley and Brooke watched their follower count climb. The comments were brutal. "LMFAO, who dresses like that? She looks like she lives in a basement. She looks like she's never had Starbucks." It made them feel powerful, famous, superior. A week later, they returned to the store with two more girls from school. They hung near the register, pretending to browse candy bars while laughing loudly. "Brooke, take a picture of that sweater," Ashley whispered. "It's giving librarian in the apocalypse. She's literally like the saddest person I've ever seen." Emily kept working, silent, composed. That's when something changed. A tall man in a tailored gray suit approached from aisle 5. Sharp cheekbones, polished shoes. He carried a clipboard and wore a silver pin on his lapel. He stepped between the girls and the register and addressed them with a steady, professional tone. "Excuse me," he said. "Are you the ones recording this employee without consent?" Ashley blinked. What?" He looked at Emily and nodded respectfully, then turned back to the girls. "This young woman is part of a confidential social study funded by our foundation. She is not your entertainment. She is my employee." Brooke laughed nervously. "Wait, what?" The man pulled out a business card. Dr. Thomas Hensley, Belridge Social Research Foundation. Ashley looked at Emily, who stood quietly, expression unchanged. "She's studying behavioral responses in service environments," Dr. Hensley continued, "particularly how individuals in lower perceived social roles are treated by their peers." He turned toward Emily. "Miss Walker, would you like to press charges for harassment and unauthorized media distribution?" Emily shook her head gently. "Not at this time." The man nodded. "Then I suggest you delete your content. Immediately." The girls backed off, flustered and red-faced. They left without their groceries. That evening, Ashley sat in her room scrolling furiously. She typed in Emily Walker and hit search. The results were staggering. Articles, academic papers, YouTube lectures, a TEDx talk titled "The Power of Silence." She watched a clip. Emily, in a fitted black blazer, addressing a room of professors. Her voice was calm, poised, commanding. Ashley's mouth fell open. Another result. Youth Genius Grant, awarded to Emily Walker for contributions in social psychology. A local news interview. A photo of Emily holding a plaque with the mayor. Ashley clicked on video after video. Emily teaching at a youth center, speaking 5 languages, playing piano. Nothing made sense anymore. Ashley couldn't sleep. The next morning, she returned to the supermarket. Emily wasn't there. A different cashier stood in her place. "She doesn't work here anymore," the manager said. "Her contract ended." Ashley left, heart pounding. She searched again, this time for the community center listed in one of Emily's articles. It was across town, a faded brick building with a mural of kids holding books. Inside, she found Emily placing hygiene kits into bags, hand sanitizer, toothbrushes, feminine products. Ashley froze. Emily looked up. Her face didn't change. "You volunteer here?" Ashley asked. "I run the donation drive," Emily replied, not pausing her work. Ashley hesitated. "I didn't know about any of this." Emily smiled softly. "You never asked." Ashley stood in silence. "You thought you were making fun of a nobody," Emily said, placing another kit into a bag. "But I saw everything. I recorded your behavior too, for research." Ashley's face went pale. Emily didn't stop moving. "You wanted to humiliate someone who couldn't fight back. That's the only power some people ever feel." Ashley swallowed hard. "I didn't mean to—" "Yes, you did," Emily interrupted gently. "But you don't have to stay that person." She handed Ashley a clipboard. "Want to help?" Ashley blinked. "You're serious?" Emily nodded once. "Up to you." That day, Ashley stayed. She sorted cans, folded clothes. She worked in silence. She came back the next day. And the next. Brooke joined a week later. At school, people noticed a change. The TikTok account was deleted. A new one appeared. Voices from the Counter. It featured stories from workers, struggles, small victories. The girls did interviews, organized a fundraiser, donated all proceeds to the youth center. They weren't saints, but they were learning. Because the world teaches that power comes from followers, likes, or expensive shoes. But sometimes, true power stands quietly behind a register, unnoticed. Sometimes it wears a name tag and lets others underestimate it until it doesn't. And when that power finally speaks, it doesn't shout. It teaches, it forgives, and it changes everything.